Hey, what's happening? Welcome to Dysfunctional Gaming's Talking D&D episode 8. Episode 8. We are doing downtime activities this week. So if you're interested in downtime activities, that's what we'll be speaking about. For Andrew, some advice for a first-timer playing a cleric. Let's throw that out there right away.
Have fun.
Have fun.
It's always the first one.
Learn your spells because they'll come in handy.
I would always say, depending on what type of cleric you want to be, the difference between healing word and cure wounds will make the difference on that cleric. If you want to be more of attack and make sure people don't kind of die, support, you could do the healing word, which is a bonus action as opposed to an action. Or vice versa, if you're a war cleric, I think you can do a bonus action smack and then full action cure wounds. Depending on what you have prepared that day.
And where you're going with your character.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, well, and use thaumaturgy as much as you can.
Or mending.
Well, yeah.
I'm a big mending fan. All right, let me pull that up. I just screwed up the video. Let's see. So we're talking downtime activities this week. Let's just talk about what they are in general, straight up. They're downtime activities. They're activities that you're doing when you're in between encounters or in between story arcs with the DM. Some DMs do them, some DMs don't.
Yeah.
I would say most DMs, go ahead.
Most DMs do a story arc. Even if you're running like several dungeons, that's your story arc. You have a dungeon, and then they complete the dungeon, and then give them a little bit of time to prep for the next dungeon. Give them a little bit of lore dungeon, and then give them that downtime to be like, hey, what do you want to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Are they going to be selfish and try and get stuff for them, or are they going to try and learn about where they're going and be smart about it?
Right. I know that I used it for both story and history for my game because I did a homebrew second half of our game. I had some history that I kind of made up to go with the history that you guys learned from the first book. So I got to just move a little bit of my own stuff into that. And during that, I got to do some story with my downtime activity. We did a lot of training with specific people to help the characters push on forward in the story, really. What type of things can you do during downtime activities?
Well, there's carousing, which is always fun. That's kind of really just shooting the shit, hanging out there. You can do sacred rites. There's a whole bunch. It all depends on what your DM allows you. If you're DMing and you're using downtime, typically the best way to do it, because I've only really done it one time, because typically my downtime is intertwined within the story. Once they get to a town, they'll probably want to explore a little bit. That's my downtime. That's a lot of me just interacting with players. But no, for my big homebrew campaign that I started off as a player character and then I wrote myself off as the devil. I gave them a year to do whatever they wanted to do. I was like, here, you have a year, do what you want to do. I had my fiance went to travel to and learn more about devils and demons and such like that. Ended up, I kind of made Gorilla City. Vandal's wife, she started to mix with herbology and alchemy and all that stuff. And then she ended up going from a Goliath to a dwarf, which was kind of funny because I was like, oh, her and Tacklin are now kind of, actually family. And then Tacklin, which was Thundercat's character, he did the thing that I didn't think he was going to do, but I kind of had the inclination that he was going to do, is he was going to retire that character. I was like, that's kind of perfect. And I was like, sweet. What do you want to be now? And then he was a gnome battle rager, which was even funnier. Vandal went to several different dragonborn places because there weren't a lot of them, and he was like, he found out that I kind of twisted things and made things different. Long story short, it was interesting how they all kind of did their own things and then came back and then realized that their big tall friend Anavi was now teeny, and Tacklin was saying, I'm out later. And then I brought him to hell, which was super cool.
So with those downtime, we kind of went off and did a whole year's worth of stuff. We didn't really we accomplished a lot, but it was story driven more than it was actual Dungeons and Dragons book downtime activity things. So were mine. Mine were very story driven too. So what I did was I had the Tiamat Rise of the Dragon Horde book, whatever it was, Queen of the Dragon Horde. I can't remember.
Queen of Hot DQ, Horde of the Dragon.
Horde of the Dragon Queen. I said it all backwards. Horde of the Dragon Queen. So we had the first book. We went through there, and we got to the end of it, and I wanted to not go along with the second book because it was really just very railroady and pushed the boundaries of math and just kind of really thrown a lot of ally systems in and stuff that didn't need to be in there, stuff that you could kind of force your way around. So I just kind of homebrewed the rest of the sessions from there on out, and we had a lot of fun with some downtime. I made some characters for them to meet and increase their abilities. They all had mentors that they had, and one of the mentors actually brought in some magic that could show stories that he had learned through mental images. Right. And I let them all create level 20 characters. We went back and created a history, basically the history of why Tiamat is so angry. and we got to see the first time that Tiamat had been destroyed. And we got to see the history unfold, but they got to play the history. So it was very meta, but it was really cool. And at the end of it, GM Patch Nasty's character, the level 20 wizard, wished for all of the dragons to turn into chickens, and it did happen. And Tiamat, not being a dragon, was just summoned back to hell until she could be summoned again.
Well, first, let's not forget that I bullshitted my way to getting to that wish bell.
But it was needed. It was needed to. I had to push the story along, and for you, and I let everyone bullshit a lot of stuff. You were hero, epic level characters that should be able to do all this stuff, and we had a lot of fun creating the history of our game.
Yep, it was great.
And they got to learn a lot of lore about what I had in store for the rest of the campaign.
I named a time period because of that, because AC was after the Cluckening.
Yep. Yeah, it was a time period. Anything 100 AC was 100 years after the Cluckening.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun.
D&D.
We had a good time with that. That was a good story. And we had fun.
I wanted to do downtime for Tomb of Annihilation, but it wasn't happening. I read the story and I'm like, they are fighting to save the world.
Yeah, the downtime I got wasn't downtime. It was handing off stuff to people to do for me while I was gone, and come back and get it, and then go back out.
Yep,
that was my downtime activity. Instead of crafting it myself, I had someone else craft it while I was working.
Well, theoretically, I would say their downtime was the ending, because I let you guys kind of craft your own little ending because I was like, yeah, you died.
Oh, yeah, an epilogue. Yeah.
But
I let you guys craft your epilogues too.
Until you kill Kool-Aid, and I need to do nothing with that. Sorry, I'm mumbling now.
People needed to die to show that it was a battle, and no one ever.
Puma. You could have killed Puma or anybody else. Coolig was cool.
Puma would have died. His parents would have just brought him back.
Yep, that's why.
So that's why I couldn't kill Puma.
Boo.
Everyone was. You need to be attached to people for it to be remembered. You wouldn't remember it if I killed Puma because he'd be alive.
Fair enough. I would have remembered if you killed Tasselhoff.
That's true, but I couldn't kill Tasselhoff. He was my dude. He was my creation. I get to pick who dies, who stays alive. I'm the DM. I killed Bree's whole family. All right, let's move on to our vocab because we did our past experiences already. Let's move on to our.
Go ahead.
Let's move on to our vocab. Let's talk about crafting items. I have the Xanathar's book here, where they gave us a new option, which was, I thought, better than the DM's guide.
Oh, I haven't read it, so please elaborate.
So crafting an item in the new Xanathar's is, a character who has the time, the money, and the needed tools can use downtime to craft armor, weapons, clothing, or other kinds of non-magical gear. Resources and resolution. In addition to... this is page 128 in Xanathar's, if you have it. In addition to the appropriate tools for the item to be crafted, a character needs raw materials worth half of the item's selling cost. To determine how many work weeks it takes to create an item, divide its gold piece cost by 50. A character can complete multiple items in a work week if the item's combined cost is 50 gold pieces or lower. Items that cost more than 50 gold pieces can be completed over longer periods of time, as long as the work in progress is stored in a safe location. Multiple characters can combine their efforts, divided the time needed to create an item by the number of characters working on it. So you can work together. That's pretty cool. Use your judgment when determining how many characters can collaborate on an item. A particularly tiny item like a ring might allow only 1 or 2 workers, whereas a large complex item might allow 4 or more workers. A character needs to be proficient with the tools needed to craft an item and have access to the appropriate equipment. Everyone who collaborates needs to have the appropriate tool proficiency. You need to make any judgment calls regarding whether a character has the correct equipment. The following table provides some examples. So if you have like an herbalism kit and proficiency in it, you can make an antitoxin or a potion of healing. If you have the leatherworker's tools and proficiency in it, you could make leather armor or boots. Smith's tools, armor, weapons, and weaver's tools, cloaks, robes. So that's pretty interesting. Just kind of get some weaver's tools and proficiency in it and make some cloaks for your team or something. Fun thing to do. Maybe create some good karma with your team by making them stuff.
Everybody likes stuff.
Yeah. If all the above requirements are met, the result of the process is an item of the desired sort. A character can sell an item crafted in this way at its listed price. Or haggle, if you're a good haggler, and you have proficiency in deception or persuasion. That's always fun. And then you can also craft magic items, and it's basically the same thing, but you need to be able to do magic and have the scrolls, and there's a lot more magic and money cost to it, and there are complications. But I wanted to talk about crafting regular items this week. So what about you? What'd you got?
Well, I was going to talk about training to gain levels because it's a variant rule that makes your characters spend money. However, let's be real. We're all creative people, so let's talk about creating downtime activities. Because it's right after all your listed ones, and everyone's creative in D&D. It takes that one person, and then it starts to spark the flame, like a skills challenge.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do more, to see more like they have gambling in there, but I wanted to see maybe like you create like a casino, like an underground casino, and that's what you go and do for your downtime activity.
Right.
Rather than just doing gambling, you're doing a whole casino.
So let's go with that. So what you would want is you would want to never negate the need or desire to go adventuring when you're creating a downtime activity. And anything that has a monetary cost gives your adventurers a way to spend their hard-earned treasure.
Yep.
So they
a good
can
restaurant.
Also have restaurants, casinos. Your downtime activities, as both Thundercat and myself have said, should certainly advance plot hooks and adventure hooks. That's certainly one of the things, and foreshadow future revenge. Here's a couple of ones. For an activity you expect a character to repeat with variable degrees of success, consider creating a random outcome table modeled on the ones in the chapter. So that's typically where you take 0 to 100 and you break it up and figure out where your levels of good and bad are. That can be a whole episode. We're not going to go into that one. And this final one, if a character belongs to a class or has a proficiency or background that would make him or her well suited to a particular activity, give them a bonus when you make them roll for it. Because, let's say you have a fisherman who is trying to buy some new good fishing equipment, or try to get a boat. Let's say he's trying to buy a boat. So that's a lot of treasure, and he's a fisherman and he's a sailor. He's going to know stuff about boats. He can make his history checks with, advantage. Give him a +2, give him a +5, depending on, if the player starts learning about ship knots and stuff, reward that person. Absolutely. But no, that's where it is. It's use your brain, start making stuff up. That's D&D. This is a guideline. This is not this kind of rules, but it's more of a guideline.
Yeah, I made a character that was a ranger, and he didn't know how to make his own arrows, but he learned from someone that was an arrow maker. He asked around and found someone that could make arrows and learned from that man, and then began making his own arrows, but he needed the equipment. So he went and bought all the equipment and worked hard to get the gold to buy the equipment, and then he started making his own arrows in his downtime. When he had time to, he'd make an arrow, and so he would always have a bunch.
I'd like to think that Talionix and Barondir got their Kung Shu line of clothing approved, and they made Kung shoes. That was one of my favorite downtime things, was buying clothes with Barondir.
Or the children's books.
No, those were terrible.
They were great. They were amazing.
Name roads. I could only imagine the crazy cockamamie silly stuff that he would come up in a children's book.
Oh man! All right.
One dragon, two dragon, red dragon, blue dragon.
Do you want to maybe create a little bit more on that casino right now?
Sure. All right. So
you said give them a 0 to 100. Let's give them a round off. What happens during those 0 to 100s?
I'll go in quarters. All right, and 0 is going to be 0. I'm going to go old school, and the lower your die rolls on your percentage dice is going to be the better ones. So if you roll a 0 to a 25, I'm going to say you hit the jackpot. Depending on where you hit your jackpot and how much money you paid to get into said casino, that's where we'll get into money, and I'll start having math equations. Math isn't fun, but you're a DM. Get used to it. 26 to 50, you broke even. I mean, you did well. You didn't break even. You did not great, but you did well.
Did a little bit better than even.
Exactly. So let's say you paid 500 again, a jackpot. You probably made. I'm gonna say it depends on your roll. If you rolled a 0, I'd give you 10K gold because you rolled a 0, and I'm that type of DM.
And depends on the casino you're in.
It depends on the casino, really. And if there is a seedier one.
But you could always make those odds beforehand. If you're when you're creating this, obviously you make your odds beforehand. You have them roll a d6, and then they decide if you find a really nice casino in town, or if there's a little shitty one that's actually not allowed in town and you have to like work your way to get to it, they'll probably have big jackpots, but the odds are probably a lot worse.
And then you have that one person in your party who has that what's the one that I have? It's the background where I know where guards and like ill repute places are.
Yeah, exactly. So they find that spot.
Find a casino.
Yeah.
And then you have two people doing one thing, which is even better because then that's more time for you to advance the story.
Yeah.
But let's say 51 to 75, you lost a little bit of money. You're not flat broke. In let's say 76 to 98, you lost money. You got in a couple fights. You're kind of broken. Like I'll have you like play it off. Maybe you'll make an enemy depending on what you roll.
You lost your favorite. You lost your favorite pouch. Like your gold pouch is missing.
You wake up a week later.
Yeah.
You don't know where you are. You don't know how you got there. Like I would run a whole hangover one shot just because of what.
That's a great idea. That's such a good idea. Yeah. You and your boys went out, and you don't remember what happened, and now you're all by yourself, and you
oh my
are.
God, there's a holder in the corner. What's going on?
And you're naked.
The quest for Steve.
The quest for Steve. All right. With that, let's see. What do we got next? Do we have anything else?
You want to talk about any more downtime stuff that you do with players? As a player?
As a player, well, as a DM, when I played it, it was good that I got to introduce a few cool characters. I gave out some, not feats, but I would say like extras.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you want to turn me down a little?
Oh, sure. Boop.
And so what I did was I gave like Vandal's character got those earrings that helped him like save some HP or add some HP to himself. I had what did Baron Deer get? He got,
I remember.
What was it? Puma.
I think it was Puma. Because I don't remember it at all.
It wasn't that great. I don't think you wanted to upgrade or anything. But I also gave Bree the War Cleric extra. Because she wasn't actually a War Cleric. And then I gave Ronan I gave him a I can't remember now. Oh, I can't remember. I think I gave him like two-handed weapon fighting or something. I gave him fighting stances. That's what it was. I gave him fighting stances because he was a barbarian. I also
make a dinosaur shield. That was fun.
Yep, that was cool.
That was. I
didn't make it. I had to give it to the. I gave it to the other people. I didn't make it.
You had the idea though, and that's literally you spent the treasure. You got some of the stuff.
Yep.
And then you gave them money. And
that's what I was saying. Like, that's what I was saying in Tomb of Annihilation. I gave people the work to do, and I went back to work. And then during the downtime when they could do it, they made the stuff, and I went back and got it.
Hello, Downtime Activities are Amazon.
So what about you? Do you have anything else that... Like, my favorite thing as a player was definitely doing the tackling... taking over as the dwarf.
Oh, the dwarf king?
I guess he was the king. He was more like just the ruler until someone good came along, and then no one good came along, so he just stayed the king.
Down. Ooh.
Yeah,
that was kind of fun because I was like, all right, now I get to help. We get to craft a backstory for his new character and why Tacklin would want him. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna bring him to hell, and I think I told you that. So there were also things I did not tell you. Because everyone was not happy about going to hell, and then I put him in the second level of Dis. Because they all had cool downtime activities, and I was like, I didn't really do anything that was kind of like bad, but this was still kind of a downtime activity. And I was like, all right, let's throw Dispater at him. and let's see what happens.
It's true. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
We also got to do some, like, I got to make my character with you basically then.
Yep.
And it was cool because the backstory really worked for getting him to work with the team. And I like how you were like, you brought me in when we came back from the.
Oh, absolutely. Well, first
year.
of all, you catered to a wrestling nerd, and if you want me to make an introduction, and he's a gladiator, bro. Come on, like I'm not wearing any wrestling gear, but I'm wearing my Losers Club shirt, but it's typically the Bullet Club shirt. But yeah, I was like, this is gonna work. I like this. But that was fun, and then I was like, all right, now I can write Tackling out, and he get his coronation, blah, 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 write this cool new dude in who's just always agreeing and always wants to train, and he's perfect because he's like your atypical adventurer who just wants to keep doing shit and then boom, move on.
Whatever you tell him to do, he went and did because he was a soldier. Like, he worked for them until he didn't work for them and then kind of became the leader.
No, you were never the leader.
I know, but he thought he was.
Oh, yeah. And then Exelia would set him straight and then be like, nah. I have a cow named Puddles.
He got to make a lot of the decisions though, because no one wanted to. No one wanted to. I named him Puddles.
Tackling or Can Do?
Can Do.
Okay. Yes, it was. Puddles the cow.
He made a lot of decisions because no one wanted to. He was like, let's go. And everyone agreed with him. He was like, all right, let's go. But that's how it goes.
Yep.
I think there was something else I did with Downtime Activities. Maybe it was a different game.
Because I remember when we played the Adventurers League and you gave us like downtime days and I was like, ugh, I hate these.
Yeah.
Something right down.
Yeah.
It's not money. It's ways for me to spend my money.
It's true.
Just give me a town and let me roleplay it.
So, all right, let's head to our first and only break, only one break, not first and second break, just our first break.
Our first break of many. We're gonna come back from a break. We're gonna say hello, and we'll go back to break.
Going back to break. Welcome to Dysfunctional Gaming's Talking D&D. I have a quick question/note. Is this something we should be talking about on a podcast, or are we gonna have like these agents showing up and like, you fucking talked about Monsanto?
I think this is a tripod. Gonna do some photography later.
Oh hell yeah! Campfire tripod. Oh wait, no, silly. We do food things with this. I learned this in government man training.
Okay, all right.
If you feed a bee nothing but oranges, would it make marmalade?
41 degrees in here?
How old are you? Oh, Jesus.
Yep, I have the spirit box, which lets ghosts talk to us using FM frequency.
Go visit Dan's Evan. We signed some real weird contracts for this. Hi, I'm Dan from Dan's Evan. Come on down to Dan's Evan. We've got all your e-supplies. We got a little...
my poor friend. Craig Leary, OSHA headquarters, Omaha, Nebraska.
All right, we're back. What?
Why'd you say one? You don't say one or two?
I was waiting for the thing to disappear, so I just kept talking. Now we're coming back with some lore. I'm going to talk about gnomes, but first I want Patch to talk to me about Loxodons.
Loxodon! Yes, I want to talk about Loxodon. So, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Loxodon, Loxodon are something that is in the Ravnica expansion. I was going to say Ravenloft because I was just thinking about Ravenloft. They are elephant people. They are bipedal elephants who walk on both of their legs. As I say with bipedal, my computer is frozen because everything hates me. But no, they're very calm and serene. They typically lean on the neutral side of your alignment charts, and they tend to be good because, elephants. But the coolest thing ever is they can do things with their trunks, like lift. They can pull, interact with objects. They can't use a shield or like precise things or use tools. But let's say you're walking under a 5-foot river and you just happen to be like 4.5 feet, you could use it as a snorkel as you walk up and breathe through it. It brings out the inner cartoon character in my brain, and I want it a lot. I had a lot more prepared, but it hates me ever so much. They have keen smell. Thanks to your sensitive trunk, you have advantage on perception checks or survival checks, and it froze again. Son of a bitch. You can speak Loxodon, which is elephant languages. I had more to say. You have advantage on being charmed or frightened because their gentle nature, their calm and sereneness. You can live to be old, like real old. I think 450. Oh, and there it goes. Now it finally crashed. Yay! Okay, that's all I got to talk about Loxodons. Let's talk about gnomes. Thundercat.
All right. Well, let me turn my mic back on so I can talk about gnomes. I didn't want to be making any noise while you were talking about your thing. Well, anyways, let's talk about gnomes. So in the player's handbook, it's on page 35. There's a little like blurb in the top about a gnome from the Black Bouquet. Richard Lee Byers wrote this. Skinny and flaxen-haired, his skin walnut brown, and his eyes a startling turquoise, Burgel stood as half as tall as Aaron and had to climb up on a stool to look out the peephole. Like most habitations in Obel, that particular tenement had been built for humans, and smaller residents coped with the resulting awkwardness as best they could. But at least the relative largeness of the apartment gave Burgel room to pack in all his gnome-sized gear. The front room was his workshop, and it contained a bewildering miscellany of tools, hammers, chisels, saws, lockpicks, tinted lenses, jeweler's loops, and jars of powdered and shredded ingredients for casting spells. A fat gray cat, the mage's familiar, lay curled atop a grimoire. It opened its eyes, gave Aaron a disdainful yellow stare, and then appeared to go back to sleep. Like, that's the epitome of a gnome. They have all these little different trinkets and fun things that they just keep around. So the amount of stuff in the workshop, I bet, is just piled across the room. I could just picture these gnomes. They like being with other people. They're very spastic. They're kind of in your face, and they tend to be pack rats to in my head.
Hoarders.
Yeah, hoarders, if you will. A constant hum of busy activity pervades the warrens and neighborhoods where gnomes from their close-knit communities, louder sounds punctuate the hum. A crunch of grinding gears here, a minor explosion there, a yelp of surprise triumph, and especially bursts of laughter. Gnomes take delight in life, enjoying every moment of invention, exploration, investigation, creation, and play. So when I played my gnome, Alston, he was always so inquisitive. He wanted to know about everything he saw. If it was pretty, he wanted to know more. If it was boring, he wanted to know about it, but he didn't want to know enough. So it was the perfect spot for him when he was in Chult and all the amazing colors. No, but it was for him. For him, he wanted to be there, and then he wanted to learn about all of it, and that's what he did.
Until a plant tried to eat him.
And then he learned about the plant, and he knew not to go near those plants anymore, but he knew. Like, that's one of the things he wanted to learn. He wanted to learn about all the different colorful things.
To be honest with you, after you learned about that plant, I don't think I ever rolled that encounter ever again on my table.
Plus I had that sweet ass little amulet thing that kind of helped me out. The amulet I got from the will-o-wisp thing.
Ah, yes. I'm trying to remember what I was like. I think I gave you that. Oh, the little chewinga.
Yeah. So I enjoyed playing my gnomes.
I want to play a Loxodon because right now I'm being very, very calm and serene while my computer is crashing slowly and dying inside.
I normally play like short characters. I'm a tall person, so it's fun playing short characters because I've never got to be short before. So I could be like, I can't reach that. Could someone get that for me? Thank you.
I'm always up for a challenge. To be honest, doesn't matter what race. Give me. Like I'll roll a personality before you. I'll be like, all right, this is a very outgoing, bubbly personality. Let's be a Goliath.
Gnomes can live for a while. I'm not short, but fight me. Okay, well, easy wing. All right, sorry. The closer the new PC gets, the more patches old one dies.
Yep. Master, why are you going to be getting rid of me?
They can live to almost 500 years old. They generally tend to be good people, and they're small people. They have short speeds, which is 25. They can see in the dark, and they can talk to animals, small animals. If you're a forest gnome, and if you're a rock gnome, you can make intelligence checks on different magic items and stuff and know this stuff.
You're a tinkerer.
And you're a tinkerer, yes. Or you can be a Underdark gnome.
Snurfneeblin,
yes. Which is what Candu was, and you're accustomed to being in the Underdark and in caverns and stuff, so.
Buy sunglasses.
Yep. Actually, no, they don't get it. They're the only ones that don't have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're the only race that doesn't have because they're gnomish. It's weird.
Oh, that's fine. I like that.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know. But that's my lore this week. And Patch's lore was cut short because of technical
Elephant people. They have trunks. You should play one. Get the Ravnica book.
Get the Ravnica book, yes. Make sure if you're the DM, you check out the Ravnica book. If you're a player, ask your DM if they're gonna allow the Ravnica. It's time for Creation Zone. So
okay.
We're gonna do the rest of that combat, but we're going to do it as a story. We're gonna go through one quick episodic round to show kind of how combat goes, because we still need to talk about that a little bit, but we're going to push it right into moving on to downtime activities for the story for Carlin and the group. So let's start. I have the list here. Let's see. So who'd we have first? One of our players was first. We had
I'm pretty sure it was Carlin first.
Carlin was first. Go ahead and tell me what Carlin would do first as she pops through the door and sees the large bandit captain.
She was peeking over there through the window with.
That's right.
Yeah, so she would probably try to do it with the least amount of. I don't think she would want to get violent. I think she would probably
probably buff or try to help.
Yeah.
She has.
She might. All right. She'll use the distract action to distract the captain, or the help. I guess I don't know.
Help action. So she'll give someone advantage on their thing by distracting.
Yep.
Okay.
She's gonna talk in the captain's.
She could do hideous laughter and make someone laugh.
No, because I only have 2 spell slots.
Okay, I was just saying. That's fine.
What if one of them happens to be something else?
So
I
she
don't know
talks
what-
telepathically through their mind to get there, distract them a little bit more. And that gives up to one of the bandits, the one that you were talking to in its brain before, is now aware that there's people coming in as the dwarf comes through, and he's going to try to hit your character, the dwarf, Jurgen. Jurgen.
Jürgen, yeah.
Jurgen.
Very Slavic.
So let's see how they do with the swing. I have them right here. Bandit, swing, attack with a scimitar. 17 is probably going to hit.
That'll hit.
And you already raged, so it's only a little bit of damage. So you see the bandit swing down with the scimitar and hit the dwarf.
Oh, gee.
It takes a few damage, and it's on to Quan. Not Quan. Yeah, Quan. It's Quan's turn. Quan was second. And then it was Jurgen, and then it was...
Yeah. Then it was the other one. Quan's probably
No,
Quan?
sorry. I'm sorry. It's Quint's turn.
Quint. All right.
And Quan was last.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take out this little like diamond in my hand, and I'm gonna spin it around, and I'm gonna go ahead and shoot out a prismatic thingy. I'm a little like do that spell where I can shoot a ray of color, a prismatic orb. That's the one.
Yep.
Sorry, I was in my player space. And then you roll to attack. An 11 on the die, and then he's a charismatic, so
that hits because a bandit has 12 armor class.
Yeah. That's a hold on first, so I would have to roll a d8 to see what it does for that type of damage. I think 3. I'm gonna say I think offhand is I don't know, but we'll say it's lightning,
That's fine.
and then it does 2 points of lightning damage to that bandit.
We'll say it does a little bit more, and that bandit goes down, giving the team a little bit of a jolt of energy. That bandit is dead, so now it's on the captain's turn. He's distracted a little bit, so as he goes to swing at the dwarf pouncing through, he has disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
So a 9 to hit and a 10 to hit. Both are going to miss, and because he's distracted, it's on to Jurgen's turn.
I'm raging. Sorry, I got into my grog voice. 10 on the die is going to be 15.
15. 15's going to hit on the bandit captain.
Big old great axe.
D12 plus rage plus...
Plus, so I'm going to say rage is plus 2. If I remember correctly, we're level 1, so that's plus 2. And then strength is plus 3, so that's 15 points.
Nice.
Slash.
Yeah, that hurt him. That hurt him. And now it's on the other bandit. He's going to run up and try to block the door and sees Quan and swings at Quan. And he gets a 4 automatic miss with a crit 1.
Bum, 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 bum.
So yeah, he gets scared and kind of turns and swings wildly at Quan, and Quan's just standing there over him like, okay, here we go. I'm going to get my friend.
All right, Quan is going to swing for an 18 on the die.
That bandit falls to Quan as he brings down the hammer.
And then he's going to advance closer in the room and try and get to his buddy.
Okay, Carlin's up. What would she do now?
Does she have Mage Hand or Prestidigitation?
She has... Where did I write it?
So no
Eldritch Blast and Mage Hand.
All right, so I would like to use Mage Hand to untie the wizard.
Okay. Fine. Done.
Boom.
That's her turn. Now he's at the end of the round. The other that one is swinging at Jurgen. That one is down. Okay, so this guy's swinging at Jurgen again. He does a 13. That would probably hit at level 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, she takes another couple damage, but she's still up because she's a barbarian. And it's her turn. No, it's Quint's turn.
All right. Well, I don't want to use another spell slot, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast Fire Bolt.
Yep.
For a 17 on the die.
That hits. That guy goes down, and it's on to the bandit captain, his left. He's going to try and make a move to hit Jurgen, and he's got a few little extras, I think. He's parry. Oh, that would have hit him either way, so it didn't matter on that one. He hits twice with scimitar on Jurgen for a 15 that hits, and a 13 that hits. We're gonna say that Jurgen goes down unconscious.
Who's up?
It is on Jurgen. Make a death save.
Oh,
Crit one. Jurgen might die. It is now Quan's turn. Lay on hands.
actually, no. He'll cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
No,
That's fine.
level 1. I don't have that. So yeah, lay on hands. 5 HP. There you go.
Yep. So Jurgen wakes back up. It is on Carlin.
I'm sorry, Throckmorton Dingleberry here, who's
yes,
at the bottom of the
Throckmorton, yes.
initiative because my hands are free. I'm going to go ahead and where is this bandit captain in front of me? Is he within? He's in striking distance.
You could get to him within 10 feet if you had
Okay,
to.
I'm going to go overhead and I'm say, I'm sorry, we weren't properly introduced. My name is Throckmorton Dingleberry, and I'm going to reach out and shake his hand and give him the good old joy buzzer with shocking grasp.
Nice. Roll it up. He's wearing metal, so you get advantage.
Oh, thank God. I needed that. All right, first one was a 2. The second one is a 19.
That hits him. Roll the damage. D8 plus. No, that's just a D8.
Yeah,
Well, he's actually level 3, so does it go up? No, nope, it doesn't.
5. 7 points of lightning damage.
Nice. We'll say because of attack, numbers, we're gonna call it there and say that the bandit captain eventually is dealt with. He's not killed, but he is knocked out, and you save Throckmorton, tie up the bandit captain and his people, and wait for the authorities. Because that's what Quan would do. And because of that, they get a downtime activity. They're going to meet Throckmorton for the first time, and
Yes, Throckmorton.
they're going to figure out what they want to do for their downtime. What should we do?
Well, first of all, I'd like to know if this crazy looking wizard person, he knows about any good books, because I need a book to get back in there to get the other book because I grabbed the wrong book. So that's probably going to I'm going to be talking to a wizard for that downtime activity.
Okay, so Quint will talk to Throckmorton about book.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Jurgen's having none of this crazy cockamamie silly man whose name is Throckmorton Dingleberry. And she's going to...
I'll say Carlin will probably spend time with Quint then, because she wants to know about the books too.
I was also going to say that she might be like communing too and spending a little bit of time with like doing like sacred rites for Ugma or her patron or whoever, whatever it might be, like trying to figure it out.
Okay.
And asking, can this man help? And then Throckmorton for his downtime activity is going to talk at great length.
Okay, where did they go? Baldur's Gate?
Well, we could probably walk to a close town if there's a town close. Or we could just go back to Candlekeep. I have plenty of books. Well, that's right. You all need books.
No, the problem is that you already have all your books, Throckmorton.
No, that's right.
I want to see what's near.
Who? The People I Just Met by Throckmorton Dingleberry. That's the book that I will write while I'm talking to these nincompoops. And Quan.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate's the closest, but the Cloakwood would be... the Cloakwood would be on the way, so Carlin would be like, no, we could just stay where I live, and it's all those empty houses with Agatha.
Yeah, let's go there. I would rather go there. Well, first of all, Throckmorton knows better than go back to go anywhere near Baldur's Gate, because to hell with that place.
Back to the Cloakwood. All right, Quint we'll talk to Throckmorton about books. Jurgen will go off back to Baldur's Gate for a night or two.
Get some training in.
Training and gambling.
There you are.
To gamble and train. Quan will stick close to Throck. To Throckmorton. Gotta spell his name right. Big old Cockmorton.
Throckmorton Dingleberry. Not to be confused with Dinglehopper, that is my cousin. Famous gnome inventor.
Quan will stick close to Throckmorton because he doesn't want to lose him again.
What are you doing surveying the land, Kit?
All right, so that sounds good. I like what we got.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think it's great. I mean, we're talking about me, yes?
I'm talking about all of our downtime stuff.
Oh, yes. If as long as they're talking to me, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, they're talking to you about books.
Oh, even better. Things that I like to talk about.
You even have Agatha, who's very interested.
Oh, great. Ooh. No, I'm not going to talk to you. You can just sit here and listen. Actually, if he's a higher level, he might try to cast tongues just so we can see if she's actually talking, and she's not. So that's kind of funny in my head.
It could be. You never know. Her thoughts could be different. He could do detect thoughts maybe and listen in on her what she's thinking and be like, "Oh, that makes sense."
That's not happening. That's crazy town banana pants right there.
I wrote Agatha will talk and have fun with Throckmorton, so she like grabs his arms and dances with him around in circles, and he's like, "I don't like this. I don't know if I did. Maybe I do. Okay, dance."
All right. Yes.
And she's like, so stupid, guys. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for this week, right? Finish the combat and move to the downtime. We got some downtime with them.
Yeah, we got combat. We got our downtimes.
Yeah, I like it. We moved it quickly. We didn't get too stuck because combat in DnD can be very painstaking and take hours.
That's a whole episode.
Yeah, and it's not even... And I don't even want to do the episode on it because it just takes too long. It would just take too long. Yeah.
It's 2 parts because you got to do the DM side and you got to do the player side. But you have to do it. Like, it's going to happen. We're going to have to pull the Band-Aid off at some point, but it's going to be for the BBEG fight.
Yep. I like it. That sounds a good idea. So what's happening? Oh, so this week, next week, we're going to talk about from the player's perspective, and we're going to talk about multi-classing. Because after we downtime, we'll level up Carlin to level 2 or 3, just to get everybody up around the same area, and we'll just show how leveling up works, and we'll talk about multi-classing. Because why not? We'll multi-class into something with someone. Who knows? Or we'll just show you how it works and tell you about it. We'll talk about it next week. But happening Friday. At between 8:30 and 9
at time BD. No time has been selected, but
around 9ish probably.
Sure, let's just say 9:30.
10:15
episode number of Stay on Brand. I forgot. because computer crash. It sucked bad.
6, I think. 5.
Intro, heroes, villains, story, rivalry, story.
5.
Whole hand. We're on a hand now. We're going to be doing storytelling. Who doesn't like a good story? I mean, if you're here listening to us make a story and don't like stories, what are you doing here? Thank you for liking my facial hair or this man's facial hair. But you should like stories. But we're going to be talking about storytelling. I like wrestling, and they can do that in the both literal sense with words or in the actual content they provide in the ring. And as you know, I'm a huge cinephile, entertainment nerd, and storytelling is probably the best art you can have in modern cinema or television. I'm going to be gushing about trilogies because that is the best way or the worst way to ruin storytelling. I know other people will be talking about other things, but it's not my place to say those things. You should tune in at time, possibly 9:30, for Dan Brand 5.
DD said 11 p.m. We're starting at 11.
Suck my dick.
Suck my big dick. Saturday, we are going to be dropping episode 5 of Zombo Force. Zombo Force is being dropped on Saturday, probably between 9 and 10:30 on Saturday night. So
6
please, 2 a.m. Fine, that's fine. So please just bear with us. Go check out our Discord or our Twitter, and you will be able to find the exact time when we post it. So you can get there then. Please just bear with us. We're still learning each other's schedules, trying to work with everybody and get along at the same time.
And the world is also a crazy place now. So schedules and shit changes, and then once again, fucking places close, places open up.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So
hard time.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna go to our shameless self promo. Tonight I am Thundercat0420. You can find me on twitch.tv/Thundercat0420, on YouTube at Thundercat0420, on Twitter at Thundercat0420. I am now also on TikTok, but I have not posted anything, but you can find me at Thundercat0420. And once again, Instagram is at Thundercat0420. What? I have a link tree now, so you could just go to the link tree. It's fine. Patch, tell me about yourself.
Hi. Patch. Mustache. Hi, I'm Patch, number 1. Twitch.tv/GM Patch Nasty. Instagram at GM Patch Nasty, TikTok at GM Patch Nasty. There are other things. It's probably at GM Patch Nasty. You should do it. Patch, mustache, me. Twitch.tv/GM Patch Nasty. My computer's a potato. I don't want to throw it in a river.
We'll have a new computer soon.
Patch. Because my computer's in Memphis. I can't take this anymore because it'll get taken down. My computer's in Memphis. DMCA.
So yeah, go check us out. Also, we have 2 other teammates who one of them is in our chat right now. Dysfunctional Dad. Check him out. Dysfunctional Dad. And also check out Vandal Zero. The 0 is with an X. Vandal X0.
He does not like it when you call him Vandalero.
So call him Vandalero and tell him we said to.
Yep.
Tell him Patch and Thundercat said, "Hey, Vandalero.
Vandalero, do you like driving your Canyonero?
Do you like habanero, Vandalero?" All right, who are we rating tonight? Cut.